12 months later, SpaceX has resubmitted its request for authorization to use multiple Starlink dishes on both stages, along with an updated account of Starship's orbital launch debut. While the majority of the text remains unchanged, a few specifics regarding Super Heavy's contribution to the mission have altered. The Super Heavy booster will detach, execute a partial return, and land in the Gulf of Mexico, or return to Starbase and be collected by the launch tower this time around. Welcome to Techmo. In today's video, we will talk about the Starship booster, which was supposed to splash down in the Gulf of Mexico, but it appears SpaceX has something more ambitious in mind. But before we make it to the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more premium content and hit the notification bell to be the first to watch our videos. In an updated document sent to the US Federal Communications Commission by SpaceX, details about the company's plan for the first attempt to capture a Starship booster have been made public. The document is a follow-up to a different batch that SpaceX sent to the FCC in June 2021. In that batch, the company explained its plans for the Starship's orbital launch and asked for permission to use Starlink dishes for in-flight telemetry. Even if everything went as planned, the Starship wouldn't reach orbit on its first try, according to a request made a month earlier for more traditional telemetry antennas. It also meant that SpaceX had no plans to bring back the Super Heavy rocket or upper stage that was used for Starship's first flight. After a year, SpaceX resubmitted their request for permission to use multiple Starlink dishes on both stages, along with an updated description of the orbital launch debut of the Starship. Some details about Super Heavy's role in the mission have changed. This time, according to SpaceX, the Super Heavy booster will split off, do a partial return, and either land in the Gulf of Mexico or go back to Starbase and be caught by the launch tower. Before this document, SpaceX's best-case scenario for the first launch of a Super Heavy booster never included anything other than a controlled splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico. It could show that it was safe to try to recover the booster on the next launch, but it was almost certain that the first booster would be lost at sea. 1 year later, SpaceX seems a little more confident and wants to try to recover the first Super Heavy rocket that launches. However, the company has made it much harder to test early Super Heavy and Starship recovery and reuse by removing conventional and predictable landing lags and making its most recent prototypes so that they can only be recovered in one piece with a huge mechanized launch tower known as the Big Falcon rocket. The launch tower and its 3 movable arms will have a big effect on almost every part of launching an orbital Starship. Chopsticks are an unusual pair of arms that can be used to lift, stack, and demate Starships and Super Heavy rockets in almost any weather or wind. They can also be used to do a more difficult job. SpaceX also wants to use them as a complicated and dangerous way to bring back rockets. For a booster or Starship capture, the rocket will head toward the tower, enter the space between the arms, hover in place as the arms close around it, and then land on hardpoints that look to have about as much surface area as a cup of coffee. According to a simulation of the process that Elon Musk displayed, calling it a catch is inaccurate because the arms will mostly move in one dimension and it won't be able to truly grab the rocket in any significant way. They are more analogous to a portable permanent landing platform that has the ability to make minute adjustments to its positioning at the very last second, as has been created and shown. In the long run, the chopsticks could reduce the amount of time necessary for post-recovery processing by eliminating the need for a crane or the similar arms to attach to a landed booster or spacecraft. This would result in a time saving. Nevertheless, interplanetary ships would still need legs, so scientists might find a way to reduce the amount of dry mass required for those. However, this will invariably make it more difficult to establish their own efficacy. The current recovery mechanisms on the arms and the landing hardpoints on ships and boosters give the impression that a catch might not be successful if each stage is more than a foot or two away from a perfect bullseye, or it is a few degrees in the wrong direction. With the mechanism that SpaceX has built, even the smallest mistake has the potential to result in a massive pressurized and half-fueled rocket crashing through the chopsticks and plunging to the ground a few hundred feet below, guaranteeing the occurrence of an explosion that may do damage to the adjacent infrastructure or spark fires that could do so. During the most recent phase of testing, a SpaceX Super Heavy Booster 7 encountered a huge explosion, as well as multiple fires at the launch pad. This is something that we are already aware of. After the event, the nozzles on the B-7 Raptor look to be fine, which is a relief. In the event that greater anomalies are present, there is a possibility that the launch tower may be damaged or completely destroyed if it were to be struck by a Starship or a super heavy aircraft during an attempt to land. This would result in the structure becoming the size of a skyscraper. Due to the enormous risk that is associated with any catch attempt, the corporation will ultimately need to exercise extreme caution and use a large number of ships and boosters in order to avoid rendering its sole Starship launch tower inoperable. This is the case even if a miraculous improvement in the design of everything that is involved in the first try were to occur. It seems likely that SpaceX is at least somewhat aware of this fact, and in order for Super Heavy to be considered for a capture attempt, it will likely need to be in pristine shape and perform faultlessly during the ascent and boost back stages of its launch debut. There is a good chance that the first orbital launch of a Starship will end up being an even bigger spectacle than it is now. According to images that the firm published on Twitter a few days ago, almost all of the 39 enhanced Raptor engines that SpaceX requires in order to launch its fully reusable Starship rocket into orbit for the first time have been installed. Both a new prototype for a Starship that will be known as Ship 24 and a Super Heavy booster that will be known as Booster 7 are planned to utilize the engines. It is an exciting time for the aircraft manufacturer, which YouTuber Everyday Astronaut caught in a recent video that was posted on Saturday and features SpaceX CEO Elon Musk outlining how the Raptor engines work. Elon Musk gave Tim Dodd, a regular astronaut, a full tour of SpaceX's Raptor 2 engine. The latest episode of the Everyday Astronaut's conversation with Elon Musk came out on a beautiful Saturday, which was a great time. The concluding portion of Tim Dodd's video interview with the CEO and founder of SpaceX was released earlier that day. This video focuses exclusively on SpaceX's new engine and dives deeply into the technical components of it. Elon Musk disclosed a variety of information regarding the new engine, including the ways in which it is distinct from existing ones. In the video, Elon Musk refers to the Raptor 1 as a crazy Christmas tree, and one of the vehicles has a painting of a snowman on it. It's not that simple to see, but you can get an idea of how much less there is if you compare the level of fiddly bits here to the level of complicated bits there. Elon Musk made the comment while pointing to the Raptors 1 and 2 in the audience. Elon remarked that the Raptor 1 engine was a finished product, and that a significant number of components had been eliminated for the Raptor 2 engine. The Raptor 1 engine is significantly more heavily enclosed in material than the subsequent engine. When compared to Raptor 1, an enormous number of features, components, and functions have been removed, consolidated, or simplified on Raptor 2. Tim Dodd was also provided with information by Elon Musk regarding thrust, chamber pressure, melting engines, cooling swirl, injectors, simplicity, and a great deal more. The Raptor 2 may appear to be unfinished, but in reality, it has been completed. So that's all for today's video. If you liked this video, then give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you will always be notified.